Hello and welcome to the garden for our week 2 full garden tour. This week I can confidently say that all the tomatoes are in the ground, and I also planted a lot of seeds last week. Last Friday, I think, so it's been like 5 days since those all went in the ground. There are a few things coming up from those seeds, but the last few days we've had a lot of rain. I mean, it's literally rained for the last, I think, like 4 days, on and off. So yeah, everything got a really good water, and I think that has slowed down some of my seeds because it has not been super warm. Like, I'm out here in like a denim shirt and it's like 55 degrees. So let me show you what we have going on. So the carrots, look at these. These have grown. These are starting to get to the point where I'm going to figure out when to harvest them. A few of them are like super tall and they look gorgeous. Now, I have no idea what they're gonna look like when I pull them, but for right now they look really good. Back here, I did plant some sunflower seeds, my teddy bear sunflower seeds, and I think that there's one right there. And I don't see any more yet, but I think that might be one right there. But like I said, it's rained a lot, and so the seeds may not even be there anymore. I don't know, but we'll see what that ends up being. I do have a dill here, and it looks a little yellow, but it's also setting out new branches, so it looks pretty decent. Now, this is my first tomato. This is the Black Seaman. This is a determinate variety, and it looks kind of sad. Oh, hello. Okay, that kind of scared me. The bird just flew in. Anyway, so this tomato, it doesn't look great. The leaves down here are a little not, yeah, it's, I don't know what its deal is. It does have flowers on it, and they're open. So, and this is a really big flower. Like, that one looks like it may be fasciated, which means it might produce a huge, massive tomato. It is sending out new leaves that look a little purple underneath, but this is a dark tomato, so this may be normal, I'm not sure. But like, all the leaves have just, I don't know, they just don't look super happy, but this may be leftover from when it frosted on it, I'm not quite sure yet. Next to this sad tomato is this area. I planted all my bean seeds in here last week, and there are a couple that are starting to peek out. This is a weed, but like down here, this was the jade bean, and here this is called top crop, and there's a couple that are gonna have birthdays pretty soon. And then these over here are called burgundy bush beans. They are starting to just emerge. So once these all come up, I will put this mulch back down over these seedlings. I didn't want to make the seedlings have to work to come up through the mulch and the cardboard, so I just moved the mulch out of the way. The strawberries, you can see all the berries. Look at all these berries. Some of them are getting relatively decent size. Like, there's some down here that are pretty big. I don't know when they'll start turning. I don't know like how big they're gonna get. But yeah, this thing is just, this whole patch is loaded with these clusters of berries. And to say I'm excited would be an understatement. Like, look at all these. And they are just all over. That one is interesting looking, but yeah, like, look at that. Look at all these berries, yes. So let's turn back around here because these zinnias have grown some in the last week, but I mean, not a ton. The weather just has not been great. I did plant another seed right here, and it has not come up yet. And I also planted a couple more like down here in these weeds, and I don't necessarily see them yet. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. The lettuce tower, I have some more arugula over here that's bolting. It's flowering. I planted some more stuff in here. I planted a bunch more basil, some more Thai basil. I pulled out this arugula and put a basil in its place. I planted some marigolds in here. That's what this is. And let's see, what else have I planted in here? There's another marigold. This dill is looking happy. I pulled some of the lettuce out from up here just to give everything a little more breathing room. And this lemon balm is starting to kind of like cascade down, which is nice. And these chives are getting quite large. The parsley is starting to take off. This lettuce looks terrible. I should just pull this out. Yeah, there's another marigold down there. This is a thyme. So yeah, this thing is coming into it. This spinach is starting to bolt. I shoved a marigold in here with it, but I'm gonna pull that out. Now down here, there's still no mulch. There's also no mulch around the tomatoes yet. That's my weekend plan. I did plant some beans. These are the purple potted beans. And there are a couple coming up right here and right here. And then next to that, I planted my rattlesnake pole beans. And look at this. Happy birthday. Look. There's one right here, and there's one right here. There's also one right here. Look at that. Now if we go down here, around this garlic tub, I planted some Minnesota midget cantaloupes that aren't really doing anything yet. And then I also planted some crimson sweet watermelons that again haven't come up yet. This pot of lettuce and spinach is doing pretty well. Stuff's starting to come up. I tried to sow this lettuce a little bit farther apart so I could get some bigger leaves, and it looks like I did a pretty halfway decent job. Same with this spinach. I made sure to leave some extra room, and I think I did a pretty okay job. If I spin around, this is where the cucumbers are going, and I don't see anything yet. But my green dragon burpless will be right here, and my muncher will be right here. And then, this is very exciting. I have peas. I have baby peas on my golden sweet pea plants, and I am so stoked about that. I came out the other day to look at the flowers and realized the flowers had turned into little pea pods. So here are my golden sweet pea plants. The bottoms of them look kind of rough, especially with all this rain we've had, but look at these little babies. And there's another one, and I think there's one more on here. Yeah, there's one back here. Look at all these little baby pea plants, or baby peas. They're not even just pea plants, they're actual peas at this point. This one back here should be opening soon. And so I am so excited about these little babies. They're so tiny now and I love them. The mammoth peas next door, these have flowers on them, but I haven't necessarily seen any like actual pea pods yet. Now that doesn't mean they're not here, it just means I haven't seen them. So, and these are green peas, like green pea pods, so I'm not sure, I don't see any. But I suspect in the next few days I will see some pods. But I love these plants. They're so, like some of these leaves are just huge. And I wish they moved up a little quicker. Like this one is the only one really that's gotten any like height on it in the last week or so, but they're starting to produce, and that makes me super happy. So if we come out of this area, I did plant some more marigolds in the ground right here that I had started in the greenhouse. They look to be doing okay. And now we are into tomato and squash land. You'll note there is still no mulch around here. I have not had a chance to put that down, but that's on my weekend to-do list. So let's run through these tomato plants because everybody's in the ground. This is a San Marzano, and everybody looks a little upset because of all the rain we've had, but I think everybody's gonna be fine. This is a little Thai basil, Cherokee purple. All of the tomato plants pretty much have these like new crops of leaves that are super dark and happy looking, which makes me happy. Then we have our pineapple. This one has some flowers coming in, and this is the plant that I think I maybe accidentally topped. And so I think this is a sucker, but I'm just gonna let this become the main stem of the plant. And then we have our Brandywine Black, which again has some nice dark leaves on top. And then we have another little basil here. We have our pink oxheart plant, which again has some newer leaves coming in down here. This one survived the frost. You'll see it has a little bit of damage in the leaves, but nothing too bad. This is the Blonde Girl Cherry, which is one of the smaller plants I had in the greenhouse. We have another little Thai basil here, and then we have our triple crop, which is the big red tomato. This was one I had in the greenhouse that was a little bit smaller also. And these plants look okay. They're a little sad about the weather, I think, but I think they're gonna be just fine. And then we have our Thorburns terracotta, and this plant has a bunch of open flowers on it. So that is super exciting. And these tomatoes are like an orangey brown color, which I'm super excited for. And then we have our Chianti Rose, which also has some open flowers on it, or nearly open. And then these two are Kellogg's Breakfast. One of these, this one, was out for the frost, and this one was not. These both look, they look pretty much the same at this point, so that's good. Another little basil. This is our large red cherry, and it has some flowers coming in on it. And then these two are Aunt Ruby's German green, and you can really see the dark green leaves on the top of this plant versus the lighter green underneath. And this is one that was frosted on. You can see it has some sad leaves, but the top is nice and green. This one is the Amish paste that I thought I lost, but it has some new leaves coming out, I think. So I'm gonna leave it and just see what happens, I guess. And then we have our Carbon tomato, which is another like dark purple black tomato. We have our Ghost cherry, which appears to have turned into a bird bathroom here, which is great. And then we have our Castelluto Genovese, which is a red kind of fluted tomato. Looks good. And then, just because it's right here, I have my yellow crookneck squash in this grow bag. These are its first leaves turning yellow, so I'm not concerned about those, but these leaves look really good. It's starting to send out some more leaves. So over here, if I turn back around, this is where the peppers are going. And I think I'm going to plant those actually this weekend. I was waiting for it to warm up a little bit, and I think that I'm there. So these grow bags will all move. But for now, this is my delicata squash. And it looks happy and healthy right now. And then over here in this grow bag, I have some zucchini seeds, but they have not quite come up yet. So that's the garden tour. not a ton out here yet. A lot of me saying there's seeds in the ground, but they haven't come up yet. Next week, we will have some beans. We will probably have some cucumbers, maybe some melons, zucchini, peppers will be in the ground, and it'll all be a lot bigger than it is right now. It is supposed to warm up in a big way this weekend. I'm talking like it's gonna be like 85 on Sunday. It is Memorial Day weekend this weekend, and I did not even realize it because time is arbitrary now. But the garden it's doing okay. I wouldn't say it's doing great because of all the rain we've had. I really need to get some mulch put down around these tomatoes over here, which I will do this weekend. But other than that, I mean, we're rocking and we're rolling with this garden. It is coming up quick, and it will continue to do so until it gets super hot, and then everything will kind of slow down a little bit. Maybe next week I will be harvesting some peas. That would be super exciting. So thank you for watching this garden tour, and I will see you in the next one.